Welcome to the class student. Let's discuss some of the other important topics of organizational behavior. The first is strategic alliances. What are strategic alliances? A strategic alliance is a cooperative relationship like joint venture, but it does not create a separate legal entity. In other words, companies involved do not take an equity position in one another. In many instances, strategic alliances are partnerships that exist for a definite period, during which partners contribute their skills, transfer technology, or provide research and development service, or grant marketing rights, etc., and expertise to a cooperative project. Then you have the concept franchising, very important concept of organizational behavior, students. A special form of licensing is franchising, which allows the franchisee to sell a highly publicized product or service, usually the parent brand name or trademark, carefully developed procedures and marketing strategies. Licensing or contract manufacturing, very important concept of management, students. License is an agreement whereby a foreign license buys the right to produce a company's product in the licensee's country for a negotiated fee. There is a negotiated fee, normally a royalty payments on the sales volume. There are two popular types of licensing. First type involves granting license for the project or process or specific technology. The second type of licensing involves granting licensing for trademark or copyright. What are the different techniques? Sell-off. What is sell-off? Sell-off may be either through a spin-off or a divestiture. A spin-off creates its new entity with shares being distributed on a pro rata basis to existing shareholders of the parent company. Split-off is a variation of sell-off. Divestiture involves sale of a portion of a firm company to a third party. Hive-off. What is hive-off? These are very important terms of organizational behavior. Most of the management students are not aware of these topics. It refers to the sale of loss making division or product line by a company. Put it simple, it is a discounting manufacture of a product or closing down a division. This is beneficial for both the buyer and the seller. Saving the acquisition cost of acquiring an established product benefits the buyer. On the other hand, concentrating more on the profitable segments or products and consolidating its business benefits seller. The recent example hiving off is Tata Chemicals share in Axle Industries. Demerger or corporate splits or division. Very important topic of OB. Demerger or split or division of a company are the synonymous terms, signifying a movement in the company just opposite to combination in any of the forms defined above. Such types of demergers or divisions have been occurring in developed nations, and they are occurring in the popular countries, developing countries like UK and the USA. Equity caveat. What is equity caveat? This is a new term for the OB. Most of the students are not aware of these terms. Equity caveat. Equity caveat is the sale of an equity by a parent company in a wholly owned subsidiary. The sale of equity may be of the general public or strategic investors. Equity carve-out differs from a spin-off in two ways. There is two differences. First, in equity carve-out, equity shares are sold to the new investor, where in a spin-off, equity shares are sold to the existing shareholders. Secondly, equity carve-out brings cash to the firm since the shares are sold to the new investors, whereas in a spin-off, there is no cash infusion to the company because the share value is broken down into small and same are distributed to the existing shareholders. Going private. How can we define going private? Ownership of a company can be changed through an exchange offer, share repurchase, or going public. Therefore, going private is one of the ways of ownership restructuring. Generally, public company stock is held with public. Going private means converting public company into a private company. Privatization is done through buying shares from the public, which increases the stake of a small group of investors who have substantial stake. Leveraged buyout. It is also known by the name LBO. What is LBO? Leveraged buyout means buying anything which borrowed funds. With borrowed funds, for example, Dreamwell company interested in divesting one of its division for 50 crores, whose value is 80 crores. 5 executives of the same division are kept on buying the division, but each executive is able to contribute 10 lakhs. Acquisition, very important of OB. What is acquisition? Acquisition is generally sense is acquiring the ownership in the property. In the context of business combinations, an acquisition is the purchase of by one company for the controlling interest in the share capital of another existing company. Acquisition may be affected by the following reasons: agreement with the persons holding majority interest in the company management, like members of the board or shareholders, commanding majority of voting powers. Purchase of shares in open market to make takeover offer to the general body of shareholders. Purchase of new shares per private treaty. Then you have acquisition of share capital of one company may be either by one of the following form considerations like means of cash, issuing of loan capital or issuance of share capital. Consolidation, another important topic of organizational behavior. What is consolidation? Consolidation is known to the fusion of two existing companies into a new company in which both the existing companies extinguish. Thus, consolidation is mixing about two companies to make them into a new one, in which both the existing companies lose their identity and cease to exist. Absorption. Absorption is combination of two or more firms into an existing corporation. All firms except one lose their identity in merger through absorption. For example, this type of absorption is absorption of Tata Fertilizers Limited by Tata Chemicals Limited, that is TFL, and the TCL. TCL acquiring firm survived after merger, while TFL, an acquired company, ceased to exist. Combination. What is combination? This is a combination refers to mergers and consolidations as a common term used interchangeably but carrying legal distinct interpretation. All mergers, acquisitions, and amalgamations are business combinations. Takeover. What is a takeover? A takeover or acquisition